Good evening, and welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer League. Today we've got a piloted spoiler key Sandy run between Zelda's Chocobo squad, represented by Nika, and Ganon and Sus, represented by Aerytheta. And joining me here in the commentary booth today is Logic.
Yeah, hi. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a fun run, I'm sure. This is actually my favorite mode of League, the piloted key sanity, so I'm looking forward to it.
And Waiters is piloted. Worth noting is we have piloting for Nika is Lilithen, and piloting for Aerytheta is the Blue Crayon.
Right, I was just about to mention that. We don't want to forget the pilots. They're very important to this.
I didn't mention them because I didn't remember which one went with which. I had to check the schedule.
Same thing. Okay, both of these teams are 2-5, and this is their second match of the week. I'm not actually sure who won the first match, but they're both going to be looking to go up one over the other here. And I'm sure they both know this is very important for them if they want to stay competitive and maybe make the playoffs.
And it looked like we got a fire rod out of Sanctuary.
And there was a big key in Link's house. I didn't see what it was to.
Skull Woods.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's going to be important today.
And it looks like Aerytheta immediately resetting, going out Sanctuary, get that fire rod.
So if I remember correctly, you were a pilot for your races. I was a pilot for one of them. If you were pilots, what would you be looking for first?
Generally, the first thing I do is I immediately start looking for Kakariko, because that's the most item-dense Sphere Zero location. And, it looks like Nika's doing the Lost Woods route, so that's where, the first place you would start, I guess, if you were going up there. But, yeah, you checking your Kakariko locations, writing stuff down.
And Aerytheta is doing a Houlihan strat. Personally, if I were running the Houlihan strat, I would have started at Sank first. But I like the Houlihan strat where it gives you that early money in case your pilot can't find you early money or bombs.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. That's another thing I really like. You do the early Houlihan, and then you go buy bombs in South Kakariko, and that gives you a weapon, and it gives you a way to get into any bomb-accessible things that you need in Kakariko. And we're going to see one of the things you note about spoiler pilot seeds is that usually you're only going to see them opening a few chests, just the ones that have relevant things in them.
And Aerytheta's doing my other favorite strategy here as well, and that is going to CAC from the south to play 50-50 with the bomb bushes.
Right, that's another thing you can do. Now, when you Houlihan, you can actually buy bombs, but if there's something in race game, then you can pick up the bombs there, the 50-50 bushes, and then you don't have to double back. And Nika's picked up a couple keys, Pieces of Heart, and Blue Mail already.
Early Blue Mail is never disagreeable.
Definitely, especially in a low heart situation like a spoiler seed.
One of those keys was an Aga key.
I did notice that, and doesn't necessarily mean you're headed for Aga. It could just be something where the pilot said, I don't know if this is going to be required, but it's right here. Go ahead and pick it up.
And it could also be there's an item in Dark Maze.
Right, that's true. But in my case, typically I wouldn't have checked Aga Tower by this point, but I would have said, I see the key, just go ahead and pick it up because it's right here.
Exactly. Based on the routing, it looks like Nika's being sent to Escape and or Uncle.
Yeah, I did see Nika buy 10 bombs, and you can do bomb escape with that, so it looks like that's the direction. There's probably something there. Aerytheta following in the footsteps there, checking what's in, getting the same things in Blind Side there. And when I'm routing, I don't tell my runner to pick up pieces of heart, but it's fine if you're not confident about your health situation.
If I noticed later on, I will send them to get easy pieces of heart, but only if there's not heart containers super accessible. That's a red mail in map chest.
Ooh, yeah, that's really nice safety.
Now I definitely wouldn't be sending them after pieces of heart.
And I like the color scheme on that. I'm not sure what the sprite is. I know it's a Toho thing, but I like that color scheme.
I always forget the last name, but it's Marissa.
I don't know anything about that franchise, so.
Me either. I know it's a fun-looking game, and I want to play them. But a friend of mine uses it. Marissa Kirasami might be the name. And then, of course, everyone recognizes the friendly Dragonite on the right.
Yep.
Now shiny.
The bombs are for the mini Moldarm cave, apparently. And this is something that everyone's done more than once. Ideally, 3 bombs to kill the mini Moldorms. Sometimes you need more if they're jerks.
You know, the worst feeling is finding out that there's not enough bombs to kill them.
Yep. It looks like Nika's being told which chests to open here. And that can happen, especially early on. The pilot's is frantically scanning through the log, looking like, okay, where do we go next? And you
there.
Yeah, you have to scroll back up and say, okay, these are the chests you need to open, and talk to the NPC. And it looks like we're also going to Ice Rod Cave, or maybe doing a fake flipper. Meanwhile, Aerytheta... It
looks like we're going for flippers.
Yep, and Aerytheta is still backtracking, or going over the same things that Nika already did, doing a save and quit, so we'll see where Aerytheta decides to go next.
And that's the one downside of that Houlihan strat.
It is a little slower, but it does give you basically all the rupees you need for the whole seed. You don't have to worry about... now, there was a 300 rupee in that mini Moldarm cave, so that's a little bit of a... it was right there on the way. But at the very beginning, you don't have time to find those.
All right, and Aerytheta is being sent to Agina's cave, because that is the only check in this direction.
Yeah, this is the only thing that's accessible right now. Nika doing back of escape here. These are very interesting, a lot of divergence here early on.
And there's the flippers. I think I know what that fake flipper was in the end. I think there must be something at Waterfall Ferry.
And they realized they couldn't get it because it's done at the Moon Pearl yet.
I've made that mistake before.
Yeah. Looks like it's the hook shot on Agina.
I wonder what that small key is.
Could be important, could be unimportant. You never know. And Aerytheta saving and quitting after getting the hook shot. We'll see where she decides to go next.
I would guess to that mini Moldarm cave here. That glove is probably the next most important thing to pick up. And
yeah,
that's hammer in Waterfall Ferry.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And it looks like there's... it looks like there's probably going to be something on Zora Ledge. That would explain a few things. Ooh, that's a nice item.
That is a nice item to find there. And given that we're coming here, there must not be anything at King Zora.
Yeah, Aerytheta gets the hook shot, so you can kill those Moldarms easily, and then goes and picks these things up. Probably going to do the same back of escape play next. So that's different routing, but it still works out.
So I think we know where Nika's going to go next. And that would be to activate the flute.
Yeah. And as you watch this, you might notice small hesitations here and there from the runners, and that's them just asking, hey, what do I do next? And the pilot will quickly tell them. And yeah, that's what you get in these spoiler seeds. That's what I had in my matches a lot of the times, and yeah, it's just what you expect.
I'm thinking there's something on the tier 1 tree pole that Aerytheta wants.
Could be bombs. Just down to 0 bombs. I do notice Aerytheta opening a lot more chests than she necessarily needs to, and that could just be a communication issue. Ooh, there was nothing in there. There's just a map and 10 arrows. I'm not sure why she went
10
down.
arrows makes sense, given they have a bow but no arrows. Now, the question is, why did they not pick up the red mail that we saw earlier?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's just an issue about maybe not knowing chest names, mixing up it's possible they just mixed up the secret passage and the chests in Back of Escape, because they do have kind of a similar name.
I'm unused to seeing palette shuffle, I'll admit, but that is actually a delightful color for the desert.
That's the lime green desert.
It looks like it's made of candy.
Aerytheta back in. Oh, going to buy bombs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
They need bombs to get the flippers out of the Back of Escape.
Right. Yeah. And Nika is going up the mountain.
Now they have a hook shot, they can get around and get to Hera if there's anything in there.
We're going to see. It's probably we're going to find our moon pearl up here, but
shout outs to our tracker, Jinxie, who has taken a quick look at the spoiler and has shown us what crystals and pendants are, because with them having that knowledge, we won't be seeing a map check when they pick up any maps along the way.
That's true. That's another thing about spoiler seeds. Yeah, you don't need to ever hit the X button.
But for those who haven't noticed, it's Hera and Meyer are pendants, and Pod is our green pendant.
And that's how I would read that off to my runner. I'd say, I'd just go, okay, Pod's a green pendant, and Hera and Meyer are the other pendants, and then I would read off the medallions, which today are Ether and Quake.
Again, shout-outs to our tracker on that.
Yes, we do have access to the spoiler log, but Zeke and I have
decided not to read it.
Yeah, it's more fun this way.
We want to be as surprised as you guys are about it. For those who've never gotten to look at a spoiler for a spoiler race like this, it gives you a lot of information very, very quickly.
Yeah, they're pretty dense, and they're in somewhat human-readable form.
I mean, you have to at least know what chest names are and what certain areas are. Like, you have to know the difference between a map chest and a compass chest in every dungeon.
Yeah, the randomizer has names for every chest in the game, and
they don't always line up with the names given that the community uses either.
Well, yeah.
Oh no!
Interesting. We got something in the copy break room here. So you need to know your map chest, your compass chest, your big key chest, and all the other wonderful creative names.
Meanwhile, Aerytheta is progressing through to pick up everything that's we've seen on the mountain next. Activate their flute and go up the mountain.
Did Aerytheta get that hammer? That was in Waterfall, right?
Yes, they picked up the flute from Zora's Ledge as well.
Okay, yeah, it's just not marked, so I was...
Did that pod just not pick up?
That was weird.
I think that pod got picked up on the same frame as the torch got lit.
Okay, yeah. Because I know Nika got the magic. Gonna have to have our Link to the Past scientists look at that one.
This is a gross chain to get, because we still don't have a moon pearl.
I'm not gonna look at the spoiler log, but if
it's gross so far based on what we've seen.
What if that desert ledge key is the other Agate Tower key and the lamps in here? And I guess we don't have a sword yet.
That can be an Agate Tower for that grossness. For that hypothetical gross that we're not.
Well, we can't get into Agate Tower without a Master Sword or a cape, but. I'm just okay. There it is. There we go.
That's better than everything we've suggested.
Yeah, I was just thinking of worst case scenarios. I got some really ugly seeds when we were doing practice.
A friend of mine rolled Swamp Small on pad.
Okay, that's worse than anything I got, pretty much. Okay,
and that, I think, is our first pod small.
Yeah, that's the first. Now, an interesting thing to note about spoiler is that when you're doing a regular key sanity seed, you do want every pod small you come across, but in spoiler seeds, you can check what chests you need in pod, and you only need 2 or 3 pod smalls, because if there's nothing way in the back, you can just skip that altogether. Just go straight to Helma.
I think we're about to see that, actually.
Ooh, straight to pod. Interesting. So with just one pod key, the only things you can... Well, if you go right side, which Nika could do, then you could get all the way to the compass chest and the dark basement chests. And you could hammer yump and actually... Yeah, so there's actually quite a bit you can get.
You just have to be picky and choosy, and you can either get vanilla big key, or you can get into the back section.
Right.
Or if you had the boss, the big key, you could get 2 Helmasaur with 1 key.
And we don't know where the big key is. Well, this is a pendant, so we're not looking to kill Helmasaur necessarily.
Well, this is what my friend says. Pendant pod always has progression. And
it looks like we are going to the back, because we're going right side here.
Or there's just something bow locked in here. But we actually have 2 pod smalls.
Oh, we picked up... Well, I mean, we have 2 pod smalls, so there's something... Harmless Hellway, or Nika might not know how to hammer yump, so either way.
But it does mean that there's something in the back.
Yep.
That was an interesting decision to take damage.
Maybe forgetting she doesn't have a sword. Or maybe just teaching that Bari what's up,
And then we've got another coffee break on the right. I didn't know Dragonites drank coffee. Did you?
Everything drinks coffee.
So there's an item here on the bridge.
It looks like we're just going right past it. A good RNG from those the beetles. They didn't usually. They can get right in your way, and you have to reset the room to get through there. Okay, Aerytheta is on the way to get her Moon Pearl. Remembering she has the flute, I've done that many times.
Many times. That's an easy mistake to make.
It's extremely easy, yeah. I have not seen what's in the dark basement here. It's one of the fun things about dark rooms.
It couldn't be that it's dark.
Don't give up. It's very hard to find this chest without a sword, though. Oh, okay, there we go.
That's a good item to get.
Yeah, that's worth it.
That's an extremely good item to get.
Looks like we didn't need that second pod key.
It might have been picked up without them noticing it, too.
That's true. Yeah, that's also easy to do when you're piloting.
So, while we see where they're going next, some other notable things to keep in mind. If you need to get to Trinex, you need at least 3 TR small keys.
And that's if there's nothing in the vanilla big key chest. If there is, then you need all 4.
Exactly. And when it comes to looking for dungeon keys, that's the first dungeon I look at to see if I need to find 3 or 4 keys. And we're at Hype Cave today. And heart containers are always good to pick up along the way if you can get them.
Heart containers are pretty hype.
Thieves' Town's big keys are pretty hype too.
A Thieves' Town big key is absolutely required in this seed, so... Yeah, there was some hearts there. That's very nice. I mean, Nika's on red mail, so...
If I were to run her here, I would be comfortable with this defensive level. I'd kind of like a sword if I were them right now, but...
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, actually, that's a lie. I play swordless. But
I don't.
they have a hammer. I'd be fine. But as a general thing, I'd want a sword just because I know I need them.
You know what? You can't hammer dash without a sword, so... Looks like we're dipping into Eastern.
That's important on Aerytheta's screen.
I didn't see which big key that was.
Turtle Rock.
Ah, okay. Nika probably going to pick that up after this Eastern dip. And it looks like Aerytheta is headed in there as well. So there's something here.
Makes sense. And honestly, they're probably going to go down to the pod pickup afterward as well.
It depends on how comfortable Aerytheta is with dark rooms, but yeah, those boots are real nice. Okay, I guess we got something on.
No.
At least they have the flute. That makes this completely not painful at all.
Yeah. You'd wish you had a bottle right now so you'd fill it along the way, too.
Yeah. Nika doing some quick swapping there. It's another thing I like about League here. Apparently everybody's decided that quick swapping is a thing, so...
Don't complain. I won't... That's evil.
Okay. Well, at least, I mean, your pilot's probably going to find that pretty early, because I don't know what their pilot styles are, but I usually... That's usually one of the first things I search out is the glove locations. Gloves, pearl, hammer, mirror, all that stuff. I get that written down when I have like a second.
It's a very useful thing to find early.
Yep.
Now the question is Nika comfortable with hammer blind? Because that is not an easy fight if you don't know what you're doing.
It's entirely possible there's a sword in here. There's a decent number of items in Thieves' Town.
This is true. And given that they're going to the south, I'm imagining there's something big down here in the big key chest.
TR small.
Like I said, we need at least 3 of those.
There's not usually something in the TR big key chest, so... Looks like Aerytheta is going to go do Hype Cave. Very good decision. Get some extra health. Get that TR big key.
My favorite case where I had to do my favorite case where I had to get a fourth key was I had to somehow route it in because the ice rod was in it.
Ugh.
This is one of those dungeons where having fewer hearts does hurt just because red mail doesn't stop spike damage.
Yeah.
Fire snake damage.
Yeah.
Fairy damage.
This is like... I feel for you, Nika. I don't like that rune.
There's a reason the name for that is what it is.
Yeah.
Also gotta play dodge the crickets, because even though you have red mail, they still do half a heart, and we kind of have half a heart right now. The crickets are gatekeeping the door.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I did miss what we picked up over by Stumpy.
I don't think Aerytheta actually got all the way over to Stumpy. I was a little confused, but it looks like she got over there and then turned around. So again, maybe some miscommunication, or the pilot just hasn't finished figuring out where stuff is yet. Nika's doing a good job, though. Half a heart, holding in there. I hope I didn't just curse her.
That was close. Hookshot is your friend in here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that red Zyzax there, you want to kill that, because that guy will just... he will bully you. I'm assuming that was muscle memory.
Yep. That is an easy muscle memory to fall to.
I think my runner did that in our race. Nika not grabbing the maiden. So I'm not sure what that's about.
I think either she or Lilithan just noticed.
Well, at least this room's on.
I'm trying to reset the heart pods, but that doesn't work.
Okay, yeah, those room. I think you have to leave the dungeon for that.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my previous question stands. How comfortable is our runner here with Hammer Blind? Because again, this is not an easy fight if you aren't comfortable with it.
I mean, Samaria Blind I could probably do with 6 hearts, but Hammer Blinds?
Because all those things I said that do 1 heart damage regardless of mail, that also applies to these fireballs.
Yeah, these fireballs are... And this phase right here, this is where it gets hairy. Nice job. Nice kill.
By Nika.
Meanwhile, Aerytheta also making her way to the back to get her boots.
So yeah, just that Hammer Blind alone deserves a round of applause. From here, okay.
I was thinking maybe we were going to do Smith Chain or something, but it looks like no. Ooh, Aerytheta. Ooh.
That mini helmet is a bully at times.
Yeah. Okay, it's grabbing the second pot. Yeah, just take care of it.
Desert, round 2.
I guess there's something else in Desert. Do they have a... Yeah, they have a fire source. Yeah, so they can clear this now. Maybe there's something on Lanmo.
Oh, there's something on the torch because we came back with boops. Because we don't have a key yet.
That's a good point.
Also, you don't have to be comfortable with the dark base because there are those torches on the... That's a good thing on that. This desert is amazing.
Wow, yeah.
But like I was saying, you don't have to be comfortable with the dark room in the basement because there's those torches if you have the fire rod.
Right, I forgot they had the fire rod. When did they pick that up?
Sanctuary.
You know,
that was for...
Yeah.
No, I'm not blaming, but that's when they picked that up.
Aerytheta going to get her mirror, looks like.
And that's a red cane outside Misery Mire.
Why is it always in there? I feel like it's in there like way more than it should be.
You know, it's always in the Mire area. I've come to that conclusion.
It's either the medallion or the red cane is in there. In Mire's head.
Medallion, the cane's straight vanilla.
Ugh. I've had vanilla canes before. It's just...
I'd rather have a vanilla cane than a vanilla hookshot. Ice Palace. Also, arrow upgrade. The most useful part of this ferry.
Yeah, it's a good idea to grab those arrows while you're here. If you're low on them anyway. Oh, I guess
that,
just to get arrows. That's the best way to get arrows. Probably it's the fastest way to get a full arrow refill.
Yeah, it is. I believe the second fastest way requires you to be on your way to Armos.
And then you use them all up killing Armos. So. Okay, Skull Woods.
I hope there's a sword in here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I've made that mistake before. Because we don't have a small key. You have to go to the
yeah, you got a
middle section to get that.
So it's confused because that's the map chest and the other one's the compass chest.
That's correct.
I made that mistake when I was routing in one of my practice seeds.
This bomb jump is hard to line up swordless. And if you're not super comfortable with it, although that bonk does make it easier to get across. Oh, that's a lovely spot for that.
That explains why. Yeah, that explains that. Taking the intentional death for a health refill.
But I've made that mistake of coming here thinking I can get to Mothula, and then realizing, oh yeah, I'm playing a sword mode.
See, that's why you don't play swordless. You don't make mistakes like that.
No, that's why you only play swordless.
Okay, it looks like Nika's gonna go steal the small key. I hope that's what Nika's doing, and not. Uh-oh. Nika, you can't go. You can't do the back of Skull Woods. Oh, this could just be bridge chest.
Could be a bridge chest sword. We are going to bridge chest.
Where are these swords? It's a piloted sea. There are 4 swords. They gotta be here somewhere.
3 of them are obviously in Turtle Rock. That is absolutely worth grabbing right now.
Well, it's only worth grabbing if you can do Moth. Like, I would grab it on the way to Moth. You know, maybe. But...
Unless they want it before Trinex and have come back here or something. I don't know. But
okay, well, Nika's gonna learn a painful, hard lesson here in a minute.
Yeah. That Gibdo drop is amazing, And they just realized they need a sword.
Oh yeah, it's another one where it's like, yeah, I've made that mistake before.
Yep. I don't like that. And Aerytheta is about to learn the same lesson.
Okay, well, I tried. I tried to warn you.
This is a painful lesson to learn.
You guys should be watching the restream. We're trying to help.
That's another thing with spoiler races that we neglected to mention. The pilots, and actually the runners, if they wanted to, can watch what we're doing, what their opponent's doing.
I definitely took advantage of that in both of the matches I piloted. Aerytheta trying to figure out a way to open that curtain. Unfortunately,
there isn't.
You can't do it without a sword. I'm not making fun of anybody here. I'm laughing because I have done the same thing and felt like
yeah. The Eastern Big Key in the front of Ice Palace. I guess it's better than the Eastern Big Key in the back of Ice Palace.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to do Ice Palace either way, right? That's not one of our... Yeah, so... It's better than being an iced tea.
Icebreaker.
Yeah, I was going to say, Nika, you want to hit the switch. You do not want to go through Ice Palace without hitting the switch in a key sanity mode unless you already have a small key and a big key.
That is true, chat. It's not a time loss if both runners will do it.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at it from that standpoint. I was just thinking, like, it hurts.
There's a sword in Icebreaker.
There's finally a sword.
Actually, if that's where the sword our only accessible swords at the moment, I actually like that half magic pickup here.
That's true. Before Cold Stare, yeah, because
especially a fighter sword have to use Fire Rod at Cold Stare.
Yeah, if that's what you're going to do next, that's a good point. Another GT small, huh? Aerytheta having trouble with that bomb jump, it looks like. I actually find that one and the Hera bomb jump, for some reason, harder than the supposedly hard bomb jumps.
Well, this is not easy to set up without a sword. Because most people will use a spin buffer to get themselves off that fall.
Yeah, I've seen people do that. I just do it the hard way. Just back up until I'm on the right pixel.
If people don't know how to either set up for the bonk, there is also a way you can hook shot over from the map chest room and go to the vanilla way.
Yeah, you can drop down from the back.
All right, good use of Fire Rod to kill 2 of the 3 puffs. This is still very, very awful to try and do.
Now, Nika can take... Okay, well, now Nika can't take any more hits. So, that's a little spooky. Ooh, gets
that was a close fight. And that is our second dungeon for Nika.
Yeah, it looks like Aerytheta is... her pilot is more focused on getting items right now, whereas Nika is just kind of clearing things as they come.
And again, Aerytheta may also not be comfortable with that. You have flippers, you don't need to fake flipper. Aerytheta, I've done that. I have done that.
I was going to say, it's another one. How many times have I set up a fake flipper when I actually have flippers?
But Aerytheta may not be comfortable with that hammer blind either.
Yeah, and so you get the sword for that, and that fight just becomes super easy if you know the script.
Or if you're lucky at winging it like me.
Or if you're, I actually don't know the Phase 3 script, but even if you just know the Phase 1 and Phase 2 part of it, then it's still a lot easier.
I don't know Phase 1 and 2 script, I just wing it.
Okay, well,
Okay, I lie. I know Phase 1, you just stand behind it and poke him 3 times.
Phase 1 is... Yeah, you literally just...
Phase 1's free. Phase 2, I wing it.
You just poke the back of his head, make him sad.
There's a part of me that's still surprised that the bottom one didn't spawn there.
Sometimes you're like on the right pixel for that, and sometimes you're not.
Again, we won't complain about free heart containers, and that one is free.
That's something else when you're going through a dungeon. You just check real quick what's in what chest, what's on the way. Oh, there's a heart container there. Okay, yeah, grab that.
There are parts of me that disagree that torch logic is acceptable for Fire Rod.
Aerytheta looks like not doing icebreaker.
If you're more comfortable with the bomb jump, I guess it can work, but...
Icebreaker is a lot faster.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's faster, but if you're not comfortable with it, even if it's a case of you're more comfortable... If you're more comfortable with one than the other, I can see it. If you don't know Icebreaker, it's faster than trying to have a pilot do their job and teach you.
The really unfortunate thing is that Aerytheta is going to have to go all the way around to get that sword, yeah. And that's okay. She got those salvos down. I was worried there for a second.
Now the other problem.
Yeah, there's this room. This is some creative swordless mode play here.
Yeah, but we don't have any bombs now.
That's actually true.
We don't have any bombs for that now. And then for those who don't know, you can actually get the... Oh, I didn't even know you could bonk that.
Yeah, you can bonk cross that.
You can actually hookshot over the spike blocks, for those who don't know.
I believe the NMG strat is to bonk there, but I'm not 100% sure.
And now the penetrators give her bombs.
She could go back and do the...
At that point, I think it's a time loss.
Well, she's not going to be able to kill Cold Stare without the big key, so...
Actually, what may end up happening here is an Ice Palace bomb jump on the return trip.
Yeah, I guess.
This room is a troll when it comes to getting through here with a hook shot.
Yeah.
The game is how many jellyfish do you kill before you go over?
Ice Palace is my least favorite dungeon in the entire game. I hate it.
It's actually my favorite.
Wow, okay, well... We're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
This room sucks no matter what you do, though.
That was a vanilla map. It's 100% a vanilla map, yeah.
Inky sanity. How did that happen?
I appreciate that was shown off.
How did that generate there?
It's 100% vanilla.
There are 216 places that could be, and it chose vanilla.
They're thinking about what to do.
Oh, our tracker Jinxie girl raises a very good question. Why didn't Nika grab the lamp? Which is apparently
don't need it.
Oh, keys.
Don't need it.
Also, it's key locked in the left side.
She can probably drop down and get it after this. But what dark rooms do they still have to do? I mean,
TR maze.
Yeah, TR maze. If she's confident that she can do it in the dark, then it's just a time loss to grab it.
This is the worst boss fight in the game, hands down.
Oh yeah, it's just pure RNG.
No one's going to argue with me on that question.
It's just pure RNG, and Moth can just decide to hang out in the top, and you can't do anything about it. I guess, yeah, Nika's not getting that lamp, it looks like.
I mean, again, it'd be another question if we had to do any combination of Aga 2 or Aga 1, Mire Basement, or Pod Dark Maze.
But if you're confident in your dark rooms, yeah, then you just skip it.
But lamp is a luxury if you comfortable with dark rooms, like you said. Or unless, of course, there's that ever famous case of fire rod on a lamp block.
A fire-locked fire rod is a thing that has happened. Yep. Nika going into swamp without... pulls the mirror out, goes into swamp, and then...
I mean, could have been also enemy reset, or just got bumped in. It takes a lot of self-control not to open that when you're going through there. Because that is the biggest muscle memory of them all.
Oh yeah, that chest. There's so many of those when you're... Yeah, when it's like little chests that you're like, I gotta get this chest.
I think the other biggest offender for me is that was a beautiful Stalfos room that time.
That's exactly how that room is supposed to go, yeah.
It didn't go that way last time.
No. Yeah, if you miss the skull or pot, then everything just kind of falls apart. And you can kind of back it up, but Aerytheta didn't have a sword. And she did a really good job improvising and eventually killed him, but...
Yeah, so... I like seeing good improv, and Ice Palace Bomb Jump. I won't know if it's lined up properly, because... 1, my screen's not big enough for me to see pixels, and 2, I don't know that sprite's lineup.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
See, Ice Palace Bomb Jump is... That's just really unfortunate.
It's one of the trickier bomb jumps to line up, because it's... I believe you have two pixel lineups to do?
Yeah, okay, so the Y coordinate you just line up with the top of the wall, and then you have to just you can be on 2 pixels, 2x pixels is basically the last pixel that you can stand on the platform, or the pixel before that, and then you have to move. You plant the bomb, and then you move down, and there's 2 pixels you can stand on there too, depending on which x pixel you're on.
The cape is one of my 2 favorite safeties to pick up if I can get it. I would rather have the cape and then the powder. And other items.
Yeah, cape's good. Can of Burna. Powder is also really nice for GT. And for TR, if you have to do that.
But I would say cape is the favored safety among many.
So it looks like Aerytheta has given up on Ice Palace for now. It's completely understandable, and it's really good to not, to not just get stuck in this death loop and that kind of situation. You just go do something else. Okay, we'll try something else. Maybe they can find that Ice Palace big key, and they won't have to do the bomb jump, or go get some more health. It's unfortunate, but it happens, and you just keep going, press on.
And Nika passes one of the other checks that my brain, for some reason, refuses to leave closed.
There was something in it this time. Oh, you mean the flood room?
The waterfall. What was in waterfall room?
Ice rod.
Ice rod. Okay, I actually was looking at Discord ping for a moment. Sorry, but for some reason, waterfall room is one of those rooms I cannot. That is not a friendly quick swap layout.
And I just want to point out that we are nice bomb. We are 50 minutes into a spoiler race, and we only have Fighter Sword.
Yeah, they're probably all on GT again.
I was thinking we're gonna have 3 swords in GT or something, and that's just awful.
1 sword in GT, 2 swords on tablets. Actually, the offense on the sea is just overall terrible.
At least they got hammer early.
Yeah.
I have seen significantly worse offense setups than this.
The good news is this is an easy 4-hit Argus with the hammer.
Yeah. It's a little tricky to time, but because if you miss the hammer swing, he gets away from you and he starts bouncing around and you just sigh.
And then it's just a game of, can you hit this bouncing jellyfish?
Okay, Aerytheta did take down Armos. Why do I have trouble remembering that name? Got her first crystal on the board, so that's just something that's going to make you feel good after having so much trouble with Ice Palace.
So if I'm looking at this board right, we're missing some TR smalls, obviously. And we're missing a Desert Palace big key.
Desert big key could easily be in TR, and
GP big key.
And who knows where that is.
And I guess maybe they want a Master Sword to kill Ganon with, but...
I mean, yeah, a sword that's not made of plastic would be nice.
Plastic does not cut through pig hide.
Fisher-Price, baby's first sword.
So, something else looks like it might be in Pod?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe just going after some more safeties or something.
So, shoutouts to the vanilla medallion entrances today.
That's true. But yeah, I'm expecting there. We haven't touched the Dark Death Mountain yet, or it looks like we're going straight into TR, which is not full clearable. But
unless it is entirely possible that the TR smalls are either in here or locked behind here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're going in here, then both TR smalls are either in here or locked. Like it could be. There's a TR small key on Lanmo or something, and the Desert big key is in here.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's the kind of dumb stuff this game likes to do.
Oh. Or not.
We just had to go kill that Pokey. Okay, this is something else that can happen. It's possible that their pilots just realized, wait a second, we only have one TR key. We can't do this right now. And
On that.
yep, I was going to say, I'm speaking from experience. I've sent my pilot into Thieves Town without the Thieves Town big key before. Okay, go kill Blind. And he's like, I don't have the Thieves Town big key. Oh yeah, I guess I better go get that.
So, we'll go into Helmassar.
Huh.
Hey, I think they're going for that key. Maybe that's our TR small.
That's yeah, that seems like it could be it.
I remember asking about what this key was earlier.
Apparently, it's a TR small. That was the answer. The TR small was in you all along.
Do you think that we need that key to get the key? Like our third TR small is locked behind that key somewhere? It wouldn't be the first time a TR small's ended up on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, it's actually not uncommon for there to be a TR small in TR. Well, now I'm just confused. Poor Aerytheta doesn't have yeah.
The seed's not being nice at all.
Yeah, I just feel bad.
The seed is not being nice to either runner, actually.
This is, I'd say, pretty typical of Key Sanity, but, you know, there's double dips all over the place. Actually, it's a little mean for Key Sanity just because of the lack of swords.
Hey, that's powder on.
I was just going to say, there's our powder, and that's completely accessible. I'd grab that, but I'm a coward.
I'd grab that mostly because, you know, I like powder. It's a useful item here. And Aerytheta looks probably going to Thieves Town.
Smith Chain, maybe. Nika doing some rage slashes.
These conveyor belts are not the easiest things to navigate either.
Oh yeah. You don't need to kill it. You already did it. You already got the key.
More muscle memory. You always think you need to get triggered at treasure chest, and then your pilot tells you, no, you don't need that.
Yeah, your pilot's watching and says, wait, no, you don't need that. Keep going. You have to scold your runner. Keep him in line. It is worth noting, you're watching the runners here, but the pilots are doing a lot of work behind the scenes, flipping through. Well, at this point, they're probably mostly just relaxing and watching the restream and, you know,
yeah, probably. It's been an hour. Most of the time, you don't need to do too much after you got everything set up. Just tell them where they want to go.
Yeah, you're just answering questions. Your runner will be like, okay, now you know what am I doing here? But especially in the first 20, 25 minutes of the seed, it's a frantic race to figure out where everything is and keep up with your pilot, because your pilot will be going places and you'll have to figure out what they need there and also where they need to go next. And it's a rush. So, you know, it's not just about the runner. The pilot has a very important role to play here.
Yeah, and we're not trust us, we're not selling the pilot short. Logic and I were both pilots for our races in the week, so. Actually, I don't think either of us were a runner this week either.
Yeah. I wasn't going to run.
The Ice Palace Big Key.
Huh. Well, maybe there's an item in the Ice Palace Big Chest. Okay, here we're going to see this dark room. This dark room is a lot more intimidating than it actually is. Like once you've memorized the inputs you need to do, it's actually really easy. Except an Enemizer, because then you don't have the visual guide of those fire bars. And it looks like Nika has practiced it because she gets through it no problem.
That's what it looks like. And now for the scariest part of Turtle Rock. At this point, we're probably hearing the "What do I need here?" on.
And I'm gonna take safety door. That's.
It's potential. If there's a key, it's fighter sword Trinax.
Maybe not gonna take safety door. That's I don't know about that. It's gonna take like 16 spins to kill that beetle.
8 spins, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
And there is a TR small on Laser Bridge. I would absolutely advocate opening the safety door here.
I was gonna say. There's no shame in that.
The game is being extremely rude and making you do. You can't even fall back on Master Sword if you're not comfortable with Hammer.
Yeah, it's.
This is a hard required Hammer Trinax, which at least it's a half magic Hammer Trinax. So picking up that half magic is continuing to pay off right now.
Definitely worth it. And the pilots would have known where the swords were. So if they're all locked in GT, or if there's like a sword on Trinax or something, then gonna say, okay, yeah, we need that half magic for Trinax.
The hardest part of this is making sure you're very fast at your menu swap. Because the sooner you can get the hammer out.
Oh, I would just pause. I don't know. I'm too used to that at this point. I don't.
I do not advocate quick swapping this boss. Ooh, and that is why I advocate safety door.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate death. Yeah, Trinax is not a fun boss with anything less than Tempered Sword.
Aerytheta has picked up the green pendant.
I didn't see what the Helmet Sword dropped, but
me either, because it happened about the same time as we were discussing pendant Trinax for Fighter Sword Trinax.
Fighter Sword Trinax. Pendant Trinax is the worst. Anytime you're in that situation, you're just not having a good day. Or it's all dungeons.
That's a heart container.
Okay.
The unfortunate thing is, sometimes he just does not want to let you get it off without ice on the floor.
Well, with Hammer, I don't think I've ever seen I think I've seen somebody do like crazy backstrats and kill him with Hammer before he got ice off, but
oh no. Okay. We had enough magic to do that.
That was pretty close.
Nika scared me on that one. And we're going to Swamp Palace on Aerytheta's screen.
Aerytheta should be able to do that with... I think Aerytheta has everything she needs to do that, is what I mean.
Hookshot, hammer. What else do you really need, right?
Right. Well, flippers and mirror, also.
And a Swamp Small. All of which we have.
50 rupees on everybody's favorite three-headed...
So where's Mickey? Might be up here on Dark DM.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Dark Death Mountain at all.
Or the Ice Palace Big Key. That is a distinct possibility.
That'd be rude. Oh, yeah, I guess we're not seeing Dark Death Mountain at all.
If it really is there.
Well, she did pick up that Ice Palace Big Key. There's got to be a reason for it. That's not something you just grab for fun. Apparently, we're going back into Swamp here. Gonna have both our runners in Swamp. The same place for the first time in, like, forever.
No, we're not, because we're coming here from the Light World.
Oh.
There's something underwater.
No, it was 20 rupees. Uh,
they were 20 rupees short.
what costs? Like, Dig Game's 80 rupees.
What costs 100 rupees?
Oh, Pyramid Fairy.
Arrows.
Pyramid Fairy.
Big Bomb. Gross game.
That's silly weighted. Okay, yeah. I'm just laughing at the absurdity of pulling Dam to get 20 rupees in an hour into a seed.
Also, like Oro says in chat, hello pilots who might be watching this.
Yep.
We're making fun of both of runners and both of you evenly across the board.
We're just having fun. We're here to have a good time.
That, unfortunately, does not work.
I never thought to try a Samaria block there.
You go out of range, is what happens.
Oh, it despawns? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh! Master Sword at Swamp Big Chest.
And there's the Desert Big
Swamp
Key.
Big Key on Helmassar.
Okay, that's why she did the... Okay.
And Big Key Desert in Pyramid Fairy. I wondered why we were picking up 20 rupees.
Right, it's
It all came together now.
Silly.
I mean, good on them for remembering that was there.
Right.
Because that was actually a clutch pickup for that.
Right, the runner is saying, I need 20 rupees. Find me 20 rupees.
And here's Master Sword Argus.
That's a little bit less painful than Fighter Sword Argus.
By Fighter Sword Argus, you mean Hammer Argus, right?
Wow. If you can do double pulls, then Fighter Sword Argus is not that bad.
Okay, for the people who can't Hammer Argus is what it's called. My personal favorite way I've fought Argus is with silver arrows, so...
You can't kill the puffs with silver arrows.
You can kill the puffs with silver arrows.
Oh, you can? You can pull
Absolutely can pull them off and shoot silver arrows at them.
I need to look at the all damage table again, I guess. What other silly things can you do in this game?
A good friend of mine had an enemizer where that was the logical way to get their hammer. Out of the back of Ice Armos.
That's silly. This game's silly.
Yep. If you want us to know, that is a logical access to killing Argus.
Hey, we got a shield.
It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, but it's there.
I think that's 7 crystals.
That is 7 crystals, so I guess, where's our big key?
Well...
With all those GT smalls, I'm thinking we have a GT key in GT.
Well, we only want to play the big key guessing game? Like,
I mean, we have to... If we're doing a split, I think the way we do is every time they pass the chests it goes with, that it counts as the number? I don't know. Wood arrows do not work. Argus puffs are some of those enemies where silvers work, but woodens do not. Kind of like Gibdos. Or hard hat beetles. See logic, we're educational now.
I'm trying to find our guy on the all damage table, and I can't because it's spelled weird.
Arrghus.
Okay, it's Argus Puff. Yeah. Okay, apparently our guy are vulnerable to Yeah, Master Sword, tempered gold, bombs, silver arrows, and fire rod and ice rod. Argus is all, yeah. Okay, yeah, there.
Yeah, it's a... I learned that watching one of my friends play. And we are picking up powder.
That's not a bad idea.
Especially if, as Jinxie says, the swords are in ridiculous location. Well, Swamp Big Chest with Pendant Helmasaur having the key is pretty ridiculous.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the spoiler log. I'm curious about this.
Yeah, now that we're entering GT, it's time for us to take a look.
Okay, yeah, the swords are in absolutely ridiculous places, and I can see which sword that Nika's going for, and it explains a few things.
Oh no! Don't say a word about it. Don't say a word about where that key is.
I just saw where the GT big key is. I love this scene.
This is the greatest. This is the absolute greatest seed ever made.
I'd be really mad if I was running this seed, but I'm not. So, hey, what are we doing? Hey, what are we doing in tile room?
There is something in tile room today. This seed is upsetting. Oh, and Aerytheta takes an unfortunate death to the easiest boss to take a death to.
I was gonna say the easiest boss? What are you talking about?
No, this is the easiest boss to die to. Because the boss is not the moth. The boss is the freaking floor.
I like that much. That
was amazing. Yeah, that is astoundingly awful.
So some days that the GT Big Key is in tile room, and some days the GT Big Key is in tile room in Key Sanity.
So yeah, Key Sanity. What astounding things do we end up with in this Key Sanity? I think the biggest shocker is still the Ice Palace map, but. So if chat has any questions about the spoiler, we are happy to answer them.
Just exclamation mark forfeit, right? You know, as soon as you see where that GT Big Key is, you just like, I'm done.
For reference, the last sword is in Misery Mire, blocked by Ether.
I didn't look where Ether was, but
GT,
okay,
GT
yeah,
Big Chest.
Yeah. Oh, is it in the big chest? Yeah, it's just one of those things. Okay, Aerytheta does manage to take down Moth, getting her third crystal.
Logically, for following key logic, there are two swords behind the GT Big Key.
Because of course there are.
Because to get to Helma, you need 6 pod keys, logically. One of them's in Mire. At least they get silvers.
I'm not sure why Nika is going this way. I think it would have been faster to go right side to get
because silvers.
Oh, are there silvers this way?
Silvers were in the fire snake room. We just picked them up on the street.
Okay. I was barely, yeah. I've been okay. Well then, GT was loaded.
It usually is. Oh, and Fire Rod was the only way to do Cold Stare because Bombos is on the top of the tower.
Yeah, this seed's great. This seed's just one giant meme.
If you have enemies you want to make suffer, send them to Seed.
See, who collects cursed seeds? Like, there's someone out there who collects cursed seeds.
It is an hour and 15 minutes in. We were in GT for about 5 minutes, and we were not in Go mode.
Yeah, this is a spoiler, piloted spoiler seed, and we are now finally in Go mode at an hour and 14 minutes, and what was it, about 14 seconds?
About that, yeah. I am honored to have gotten to commentate this seed. This is a joy. Because Logic and I are sitting here going, I'm glad I'm not in the runner or pilot seat today.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get something this bad. Then again, the second match I piloted was an Aga seed that had required dips in 3 pendant dungeons, so... This is still worse.
Yep, this is easily worse.
Nika doing the damage boost strat there. You just fall off the bridge and then dash through. Your iframes last you the whole way.
Master Sword makes the gauntlet so much more bearable than Fighter Sword.
It's still not as good as Tempered Sword because the red Zyzacs do take 2 hits instead of 1, but everything else still dies in 1 hit.
You know, I sometimes hear them referred to with their Zelda 2 names, Red Dairas. But,
there are like 3 or 4 translations for this game of the monsters. So.
Yeah. And like I said, I usually use Daira just because that's the one my friends use for Z2 one. And they're similar enemies.
I don't know. I've heard them referred to as Zyzacs. I don't know who came up with the official names for this game or whatever, but...
Nika got lucky with one of those red Dairas, red Zyzacs, because it got bounced by her sword slash into the spike. And a mechanic that a lot of people just don't know is that enemies take damage from spike blocks. Unless that said enemy is Mothula, in which case he cheats.
Mothula is hard-coded not to take damage from spikes, but if you bounce an enemy into spikes, they take damage, and it does the same damage as Gold Sword.
Which is why in the vanilla game, Gold Sword does not damage Mothula.
Because it's the exact same damage class, yeah. They fixed that in Rando because you can have Gold Sword going into Moth a lot of the time. You cannot have Gold Sword... Well, actually, you could in vanilla have Gold Sword going into Mothula, but you wouldn't most of the time.
The biggest thing with why it got changed... I mean, you can actually still damage it with Gold Sword by poking it.
That's true, because poking does do a damage class lower than whatever your sword is. So it would do Tempered Sword damage, which can damage Mothula.
I presume that fighter pokes do the same damage as fighter slashes, or they do less damage?
They do the same damage, because whatever damage class that is, 1, I think, is the lowest for sword.
Yeah, Lilithan, your runner amazed us with hammer, being willing to do 2.5 heart blind with a hammer.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch.
And pulling it off, so mad respect on that. There's a heart container on top of GT.
That's something you pick up while you're there. Might as well. I mean, Nika at this point has a lot of health. Yeah, red mail, silvers. Even a Master Sword Ganon is not fun, but with that cape and half magic, you're still, you could just wait for Ganon to get into the good position at the top of the screen and do double spins. So,
but yeah, like we were saying, sword, Sword pokes do 1 damage class lower, and sword spins do 1 damage class higher. If I remember correctly.
Nika leaving a bomb on the Moldorm chest there. I don't know why.
Did she bomb it and leave?
Oh, she put a bomb on it because it's got bombos in it. I get it.
It also is a thing that several bigger name runners tend to do. But I see it a lot in some people's streams.
And while we were focusing on Nika here, Aerytheta did take down Blind and is still chugging along here. Looks like she's headed to the Oh yeah, this is another nice safety, and it generates lag, but it does drain less magic.
Nice triple.
Oh wow, that was fast. I blinked and it was over.
So we're going to be visiting our good friend the pig.
Yep, just a fairly tricky Master Sword Phase 1 and 2 because no bottles or anything. But those silvers will make quick work of Phase 3 and Phase 4. We get the Pink Floyd quote here.
Relatively friendly position for a spin. The hard part here is the complete low health situation.
Red Mail does make this a little easier.
We have 1 potion backup.
Oh, did she get a potion?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then this should be...
1 blue potion as backup.
Especially with that cape, this should be pretty safe.
And if we followed key logic on that Helmasar big key, it's also behind the GT big key.
This is some really nice dodges from Nika as well. On those fire bats.
Master Sword Gan is a fun challenge.
I don't know if I'd call it fun. It's a challenge.
I'd rather do Master Sword Gan than do, like, Fighter Sword Vitreous.
Yeah.
As someone who has done said Fighter Sword Vitreous.
I mean, what is it, like 32 spins on the eye?
It's a lot of spins. So yeah, I remember one of our earlier questions when toward the Starseed was why did we go into Skullwoods and pick up half magic? One what we noticed was the swordless problem, but having it for Cold Stare and for Trinex was absolutely crucial.
And it looks like Nika didn't want to use the cape, but using it for the cape here would have also can make this fight a lot quicker. If you get up to where you can do double spins on Ganon, you can get maybe 8 hits on him. And Nika just a couple hits away here from finishing this fight off. Oh no! Nika takes the fall!
An unfortunate Ganon fall there. So maybe the warps will be better this phase.
They were okay.
Yeah. Always, I would have picked up that fairy there.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's. She does still have that blue potion. Okay, yeah, you do need 7 crystals to beat Ganon, so keep that in mind.
We did not break the seed. That's a good thing.
Okay. Aerytheta is currently going through Turtle Rock, and she did just take a death. I didn't see where.
I think it might have been Pokies too.
Okay. Something to point out, Nika got hit by the fire bat, and I know you don't have a lot of time to react there, but if you do get hit by a fire bat, what you want to do is just let go of any inputs. Don't hold any direction, generally, because fire bats they don't have knockback. What they do is they just reverse your controls. So if you get hit by a fire bat and you just hold like, I'm going to hold away from the ledge, you'll just go right. You'll walk right off.
Be careful. Ooh.
You could take in a death there, and she can just try again with more health. I hate to say it, but it's not like she's in a bad situation time-wise.
There's still plenty of trolls to get through on Aerytheta's side.
Yeah.
I mean, for one, there's a tile room, and that takes about as much time as a Ganon fight. At least it feels that way.
Aerytheta is at Laser Bridge. After this, Aerytheta still has to do Desert and Ice Palace, though. So that was an interesting Ganon teleport right there.
Did he teleport in place again?
Yeah.
Your other best friend when fighting Ganon is your hookshot.
Yes.
Both for the reposition onto those torches, and of course, that for some reason, hookshot gives complete iframes the entire duration.
Yep, well, the hookshot's going out while you're moving. You are completely invincible because, I don't know.
Because of reasons.
Past. Yeah, Link to the Past. What's this game can't walk and chew gum at the same time? Is that what they say?
Alright, Trinex, and Aerytheta going for the Ice Head kill first.
Aerytheta choosing to do Master Sword instead of Hammer Strats, which is completely fine with half magic.
Yeah. I believe it is still faster to do Hammer, but as someone who doesn't like doing Hammer if they don't have to on Trinex, which, given I play Swordless, I have to do a lot.
Yeah, that's understandable. You have to get really close to hit the head with an up hit with the hammer, and you can take damage really easily that way if you're not comfortable with it. And going for the ice head first is actually, it's not a bad strat because the ice head will spit ice down. It is it's faster to go for the fire head first, but if you want to kill the ice head and just not have that ice to worry about, then
Right, and I can't tell if that was a third hit or not.
I guess we'll see.
It was not a third hit today.
Aerytheta did take down Trinex, and that was...
So I'll wait to say it this time, just because this seed has had everything that can possibly go wrong today.
Right.
But we'll assume we can get across the bridge here and get your GGs in chat for Nika and Lillifen. Taking first place in this race with an official racetime.gg time of 1:27:56.
All right, and we'll see if we can get them for interviews here.
Meanwhile, Aerytheta going toward Ice Palace next. Well, actually, nope. Going toward Ice Palace. Just an accidental swim into that waterfall. Easy to do.
Yeah. Feels like when I don't want to get in there, I get sucked in, and other times when I'm trying to get into it, I can't. So.
And then, of course, for some reason, those whirlpools can conserve momentum when almost anything else that happens does not.
Yeah, that's another really annoying thing. The physics in this game can be weird, especially the swimming physics.
I still insist to this day that the water physics in this game somehow are worse than the ice physics. Alright, and it looks like Nika and Lilithan are in our waiting room. We'll see if we can get them pulled in real quick. Hello, hello. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
And GG to both of you.
GG, yep.
Thank you.
What did you think of that seed?
I have very mixed feelings on it. First off, swords are not in an ideal location.
I originally was like, oh, we'll get one of our swords out of Misery Mire, and then I looked where Quake was. I was like, or Ether rather. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? What is this siege?
Where was it again? Oh yeah,
it was in the big chest.
In
It was in the big chest of GT. Yeah. I love when your second sword comes in literally ice armos.
Yeah, that was we both didn't really look at the spoiler log until you got into GT, so we were kind of wondering, is there a second sword somewhere in the seed? You know.
Yeah, Logic and I did not open the spoiler log until you entered GT, just so we could be surprised by your route and the items you picked up along the way.
Honestly, that was a good call, because what a mess of a seed.
It was entertaining. I was especially amused by the GT Big Key location.
One item that we got to see from Aerytheta picking it up that made us laugh was that somehow, in a full Key Sanity seed, the Ice Palace map ended up in the Ice Palace map room.
I'm gonna be honest, I just saw a map and mentally skipped over it, so I did not realize that was actually the Ice Palace one.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
We were glad that they picked it up because it made us laugh for a good minute or so. Because again, out of 216 possible locations, it chooses vanilla.
Yeah. Also, the fact that like the GT Big Key in a Key Sanity seat not only ended up in GT, but ended up in Tile Room of all locations, I was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, all the places, even in GT alone, but the fact that it's in Tile Room, everyone's favorite room.
And then to top it off, even though it's in Tile Room, because of sword locations, you still had to go.
Yep.
And you couldn't just go right side; you had to go left to get the silvers too. So it was basically, I don't know, the worst case scenario for a Key Sanity, because you ended up having to basically do all of GT basement anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I couldn't remember how many GT smalls we had picked up before, like, coming into GT, so I was like quickly trying to think in my head, okay, where do we actually need to spend small keys?
Yeah. When we went into Path of Darkness, we miscounted, and we didn't realize we could just go through the fronts to get to their boots, so we ended up going like the long way around.
We were commenting when we saw you go right side and you had two keys, like, oh, I guess they're going to the back. They're going to do something in Harmless Hellway, or, you know, there's might be something in the vanilla big key chest, and then you just went and got the boots and left. It's like, oh, I guess they didn't need the other key.
Yeah,
We
like
just picked it up for this, just for the factor of we had the time, because why not? I don't know.
I've done the same thing piloting. You know, it's hard to keep track of how many keys you've picked up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed early on you were picking up a lot of GT keys, so I guess that should have clued me in that there was going to be a party in GT.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I was just like, okay, just pick this up in case we need it. I had not actually like processed where like everything was. I was just like, okay, GT small, grab it. It's fine. We're not going out of our way for it. Just get it.
I did say that's something else you do when you're piloting. If you see a key in Sphere 1, you grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of double dips in this seed. There's a lot of, another funny thing. When you went to Pull Dam to get that 20 rupees so you could buy the bomb, that was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
I was losing it because we were. It was like, was something in there this whole time? and then we had to figure out where you were going with the rupees.
Yep.
So
and
yeah,
and the fleece back to Link's house.
Like it was just like the fact that you had I think you had to triple dip Desert Palace this seed because you needed the like I think you needed the Tower of Hera big key.
Yeah.
And then we had to go back for the magic mirror, and then we had to go back to actually beat the dungeon.
Pearl, mirror, and then the key, the boss.
Right, yep. God. Fuck off.
Jeez.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Except don't.
You should have heard like the absolute meme fest we were having, especially at the end of GT. Because you know how there was a triple on Aghanim?
God.
Hello?
Yeah, you had a really good Aga fight.
Yeah, at the end, because I got the triple, I had to spit out the first meme that came to mind. Oh, baby, a triple! First thing that came to mind. Oh, that was a good seed, though.
I don't know if I'd call it a good seed. It was an amusing seed, for sure.
Yeah, we just missing the crossworld part. I love crossworld key sanity so much. And then I play it, then I realize I don't like it. That's how it works.
Okay, meanwhile, Aerytheta has finished up Ice Palace and Desert and is going to be headed to GT, it looks like, to do their fun GT stuff.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do you think they'll go to the back and get the sword?
I don't know.
Because they did take the time to pick up the Master Sword out of the Swamp Big Chest.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly, I think it would be a good idea to go grab it, but...
Tempered Sword does save a lot of time in the Gauntlet and on Ganon compared to Master Sword, so I think it'd probably be worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you already lost anyway, so you might as well just make it easier.
Like, honestly, like, if the third sword literally did not require you to full clear a pendant dungeon and then also do blacksmith just to get it out of Swamp Palace, I probably would have gotten it.
And the other sword was in Misery Maya, yeah?
Yep.
Where in Misery Maya, though?
Spike Room, but it's also GT Big Chest, so at that point you grab the sword in the back anyways.
And I'm not sure, I have been told that we are going to need to clear the room here before too long, because we have another match in League 2 that's going to start on the hour. So,
okay.
We still have a little time, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that interview. And yeah, I'm not sure when they want us out of here exactly.
Probably within the next 3 minutes.
GG to both of you again. Well,
thank you.
Well played on such a disturbingly awful seed. This is one of the worst spoiler key sanities I have seen come out of the Sahaba.
Well,
2 weeks I've been practicing.
well, like I said, it was a blast to watch. At least, you know.
Oh yeah. Again, Logic and I have had an absolute riot for commentating this seat.
Yeah,
Okay, looks like we
I
have
Trying to make this commentary session educational too.
looks like we have until 5 minutes before the hour, so we do have some time. I wanna be able to give Aerytheta and Blue Crayon an interview if they finish, even if it's really short. Yeah,
I believe in them.
right. I don't know how much of their stream you were watching or how much of the restream you were watching, but Aerytheta had a lot of problems in Ice Palace her first time through there. So
Did she not do Icebreaker?
no, she didn't do Icebreaker.
Okay, there's your first problem.
Yeah, and then again, I said it in the chat, said earlier to Lilithan in chat, but props to, like you said, props to Nika for doing low percent on so many of those bosses, and that blind fight was insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my exact words were that was clutch.
It's actually very fitting that I'm using a Toho skin, considering that's exactly what Toho looks like in those scenarios.
Yep.
Except with more projectiles.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, just a screen full of projectiles and pretty patterns.
Aerytheta not getting silvers or the tempered sword, just going.
Ooh.
That's
Risk. Do they not have quick swap enabled?
I assume she does. It's just, you know, who uses quick
Could
swap?
also just be force of habit. Like I am
That
certainly
too.
guilty of that.
That's two. Yeah.
going for the Master Silverless Ganon is pretty. I will say that's pretty gutsy. I mean, if you're confident blowing it off, it makes a great showcase of your skills for after you've lost, anyways.
Probably not going to finish within the next 6 minutes, though.
Yeah. There was the idea was actually to do MS Silverless. Then we realized, oh hey, we can just get we can get silvers and we can get silvers in GT. May as well do that.
Yeah, since we had to go to Ice Armos anyways for our second sword.
And well, you could have just gotten it going right side. When the silvers are left side, you just go left side to do it anyways.
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't go right side, because that is faster, but then it was pointed out to me. That's where the silvers were there in the Fire Snake room. And
Also, I absolutely misread the log because I was thinking Fire Snake room was like the map chest area. I had completely forgotten there's a chest in the room with actual fire snakes.
Right, I figured that's why you sent her in there. There was like some hesitation, like, do I go in? And then you went in and got the big 20, and it's like, okay, there's something going on there.
You know, I was honestly just going to guess that it was we need another big bomb for picking up another 20 rupees.
I mean, how many times in practice seats do you ever even look at what the names of the chests in GT are?
Yes.
I don't think in any of my practice seeds there was anything in GT ever.
Yeah.
So
No. Like, not in any spoiler seed I've done.
And then somehow I've heard there have been seeds where you have to double dip GT in this.
Oh,
God.
it wasn't this week, but I have seen my fair share of double tip GT key sanities. But I think the worst one was where GT Big Key was in Desert Palace on the torch, and the boots were in GT.
I've heard rumor that there's been some getting Aga key from GT to get Lumberjack.
I mean, yeah, there are double dip GT scenarios, especially in all dungeons, key sanity.
Yeah.
Like, you almost, it's something, you don't expect it, but it's not uncommon. But in just regular open key sanity, it's not, it's like, eh. Okay. We got about 3 minutes left here before we're going to be asked to leave. So,
Do you two have any final thoughts from this seed that can preferably
Unfavorable. I would just like swords
Don't
to be
do
in
key
easy to
sandy,
reach
kids.
places. If you want to do if you want to do key sanity, just mix it with crossworld, make your life better.
I like Key Sanity.
I love key sanity is so good, but I think crossworld key sanity just takes the cake.
At least with Crossworld Kisandi, we would have been able to get another sword.
Well, potentially, theoretically.
They could have been even worse places in Crossworld.
I don't think they could have been in worse places.
I don't know. I don't play cross keys, so.
they absolutely could have been in worse places, trust me.
Okay. Well, next week is next week's mystery. So, who on your team's running for that? Have you decided yet?
I know I'll be running one of those. One of those seats because I love
I don't
mystery.
think we've settled on who's running for the second one yet, but we'll find out soon enough. I'm pretty sure everyone on our team is comfortable enough running mystery. Also, put in him swordless in the next league season, cowards. That's all I got. Bye.
Well,
very direct.
Please give a follow to the runners and pilots.
Yeah, all right. Well, GG again, and thanks for putting on this showcase for us. It was a lot of fun. It's unfortunate we're not going to be able to give an interview to the other team, but that's just the way it shakes out. We gotta get moving. And please follow our restreamer Aerytheta, our tracker Jinxie Girl, and my co-com Zeke Highland, and me if you want. And of course, our runners and pilots.
And shoutouts to the A Link to the Past Randomizer League for putting on this excellent season.
Oh, yeah.
We're over halfway through at this point, and it just gets better from here. We get into the crazy modes next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we got the mystery coming up next week, and then what's after that? Oh, yeah, All Dungeons Key Sanity, which is one of my favorite modes. And then after that, it's Co-op Enemizer, which is going to be a lot of fun to watch, I think.
So, yeah.
Oh, that sounds like chaos right there.
Yeah.
So have a good evening, everybody.
Take care. Stay safe.